Back then, I didn't think I was going to be in this situation. You know, I was a football player. You know, I was into basketball and just seeing Vince Carter and everything. You know, so right now it's a dream come true, and I never thought I'd be in this position.
How do you feel the workout went for you today?
I think it went great. You know, I could have done better. I was helped defensively, but energy-wise and everything, I think I did good.
While other people are just worrying about basketball, you're also worrying about your education. Why do you think education is so important for you?
Because you know, basketball doesn't. The basketball stops dribbling. You know, eventually, you know, you can't play basketball forever. So you know, education is very important. So after basketball, you know, you can get when you have your degree, you can get a job after basketball.
You mentioned Vince. We've been talking a lot about that lately. His impact on your generation and whatnot. What kind of impact was it for you as a young player in Canada, and how did it kind of fall to where you are perhaps now?
Vince is probably one of the best Raptors, you know, of all time. Even though he left a long time ago, 10 years ago. So you know, Vince had made a big impact for all of us. You know, just seeing him doing something, even though he wasn't Canadian, you thought he was Canadian because he's always played out here, and everyone embraced him in Canada.
Did it show you that maybe that's what I could do one day in my own country, whereas that didn't exist before even the Raptors obviously existed?
You know, to be honest, I didn't think I would be here. So you know, I didn't really just seeing him do things like that. I never thought I'd be able to be here. So, you know.
How much do you look at mock drafts and projections and where you're expected to go, and how much does that factor into your thought process?
You know, I don't really look into mock drafts. You know, you never. Those guys don't really know what goes on in a GM's mind or anything. So you know, it only takes one team to like you, and if you feel you're ready, you're ready, and that's what I thought.
Can it be difficult to tell the people in your life that you don't want to see that when there's so many ways for them to show that to you through social media and Twitter and things like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, after I declared, you know, you can't look at social media. You got to stay off it for like 2 weeks. You know, everyone's telling you should stay. You know, and then after a week, it all dies down. So after I declared, you know, I stopped going on social media, and I just went to work.
What's the biggest thing that you're trying to show people when you come into each of your workouts?
That you know, I'm gonna bring defense and energy. You know, that's what the type of player I am. That's why I left. That's why I proved myself in college. I was defensive player 2 times, and you know. And the next time I'm going to be a defensive player, so that's why I left.
What workout is this for you? What number, and where have you been already?
This is my 4th workout. I've been to the Clippers, the Heat, and Philly so far.
How much feedback do you get after workouts like this?
You know, you just get a little bit of feedback. You know, they talk to your agent. You know, so far I've done pretty well. You know, in every workout. So.
During the season, you set a record for most points against the Texans with 48. Was that just you having a very hot game, or is that your actual potential as a player?
That's not me. No, that's Melvin.
Jordan Clarkson was here yesterday. We asked him about the common denominator, if there is one, amongst the Canadian players in this draft, and he mentioned work ethic and things like maturity and I guess attitude. Where do you think that comes from for you guys?
You know, just being humble. You know, like I said before, like we never thought we would be in a situation. So right now we're just taking the best opportunity. We're not trying to ruin it by, you know, we can't come in here acting all stuck up and cocky. We gotta embrace it. We gotta be humble.
How does it feel to go through the process with guys that you've known, you know, your whole life?
It feels great. You know, it's funny. I played with these guys in OBAs out here, and now we're all going to the draft. So it's one of the best moments.
Is it important for you to be drafted high, or do you just look for a good fit for the team?
You know, if I can get drafted high, I'll be happy. But right now, it's a good fit. Would be perfect. You know.
Does it feel like with all the Canadians there? Does it feel like you're part of a moment, or are you just sort of focused on yourself?
No, it's definitely a moment. You know, the most Canadians ever in the draft. You know, so it definitely is a moment.
Sticking with that moment, just a generation removed, you had Canadian players talking about, you know, going to American school, possibly get freeze out. It wasn't the same atmosphere. Guys weren't as welcoming. For you guys, what's the word like when guys hear, oh, it's Canadian kids coming to UNLV? What's the word been like about the Canadian kids once you guys have hit the American soil?
You know, they you know, at first, you know, they'll be like, oh, you're from Canada or whatever. But, you know, after they see our games, they're amazed, you know. I think right now we fit in perfect with American lifestyle and Canadian lifestyle. I think it's the same right now. Before, probably back in the days, it was probably different. But right now, it's the same. So, you know, everything's changing right now.
Do you think you're showing that Canadians can not only compete in NBA, but excel?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, watch soon. You know, Canadians going to be in All-Star games. You know, all first teams, everything in the future. So you know, we're coming up.
Khem, specifically to Montreal and to Quebec, have you witnessed the influence that you're having on the younger crop, the next generation of guys, and have you seen it yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, there's a lot of young guys coming up. Like my brother's age, like 14 years old. You know, and every time I do something, they like everything. You know, so I've made a really big impact on Montreal basketball, and I'm proud. You know, and hopefully they'll keep it up.
How tall is your brother?
He's not that tall, you know, but he's getting there.
A lot of people talk about, you know, obviously Toronto and then Vancouver. What's the basketball market like in terms of the players, the fan base in Montreal?
So right now it's hockey. Canadians, made the Eastern Conference, semi. So right now it's hockey, but watching the future is going to be basketball. I can see it. It's coming up.
Khem, have you had any talks with Anthony? Him going through his first year, both being UNLV guys. And he's had he struggled his first year. How has that helped you? Has it given you any advice with regards to freshman year?
Oh yeah, definitely. It makes you want to work hard. He didn't get a chance to go through summer league and go through training camp, so it just tells you that you gotta embrace everything. You gotta take everything seriously in the beginning so you can be ready. Anthony didn't get a chance to prepare for the season, so that's why he struggled a little bit.
Do you feel like you're able to get an opportunity to show teams a little bit about who you are off the court when you come in for these workouts?
Oh yeah, definitely. People think when you go to school in Vegas, you're like some type of party person, But I'm kind of laid back. So when I come out here, I don't really do anything. I just stay in my room and I stay to myself. And I'm a good guy. So I think they see that.
I saw some photos on Instagram last night of the game. You guys were playing here. I think it was here against.
Oh yeah.
Adam Sandler. How did that come about?
Oh, it was great. He's a great guy. Just his movies are so funny. It's nice. They're kind of corny and funny at the same time. But just seeing him is kind of good. He's a humble guy.